Hello, hello. Welcome to Moving Beyond Burnout. This is Camesha Jones. I am a recovering workaholic and burnout overcomer. And I've started Moving Beyond Burnout because I wanted to create a platform that empowers Black women to cultivate self awareness and overcome burnout for good. If you are joining me on Instagram, LinkedIn, or here on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and share with a woman that you know who is struggling with burnout and is looking for support and hope. I will be here at 12 p.m. every Thursday to just share thoughts, insights, and things that we can reflect on about burnout. So, I am going to start with my burnout story. And I think it's important to start with how I got to a certain place with burnout and where I am today, just to help others to see, that it's possible to begin to transition out of burnout. And it's also, there are so many things that are connected to why we may work or why our relationship to stress is in a very particular way. So I believe everyone has an origin story, and my origin story started with what I saw growing up. So I come from a family that women work hard, right? And so I saw my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, and other women also in my community who were managing different roles and responsibilities, who were, career women, who were also, involved in the community. And I also saw that these women were stressed, um, but I thought that it was just like a normal part of life, that if you are a Black girl growing into a Black woman, something that is going to be a part of your life is a lot of stress, a lot of exhaustion. So from a very young age, that is what I saw. And I thought that I guess this is what my path is going to be like as well. In addition to that, I come from a family of people who are very service oriented. So my mother works in human resources, my aunt is a counselor. My grandparents are school teachers. My dad is a blue collar worker. So serving and doing a good job and working hard are things that were instilled in me and things that I saw even from a career standpoint. But one of the things that I really didn't know was that you can, work hard, and it can also make you fall hard as well, even when you're doing good work and even when you're serving others. So throughout school, it I started to really overwork and overachieve. And I thought that I had to achieve by overworking and overachieving. So that looked like joining, different clubs, being active in my community, getting good grades, being in good standing with folks. So even in high school, I really started to overstretch myself and have my hands in so many different things and began to experience some exhaustion. But I again thought that this was just a part of the recipe, that for me to be successful in all areas of life, not just work, career, academics, but in my relationships, in my community, that this is what I had to do. And when I got to college, it only intensified. I went to Spelman College, which was a very competitive school. And all the Black women there are achieving, working their butts off, trying to get to where they want to go. And so I began to put more and more on my plate because I believe that was what was necessary for me to get to where I needed in life. And to be honest, at that time, once you graduate high school and you're in college or trade school or you begin working, there's more at stake. And so with those stakes being higher, I would push myself more and more and more. And even though I knew that things were too much, even though I knew that I was struggling, I still continued to do more and more that led to feeling some mental and physical effects of burnout, such as being, tired all the time, not getting good sleep, being apathetic, things that I used to enjoy, I didn't enjoy anymore, feeling even sadness and depression. Um, and, after graduating from college and graduating from grad school, the things that I used to be able to do in terms of stretching myself very thin or being over involved or just really managing these different stressors, I just really, really wasn't able to do it anymore. And once I wasn't able to do it anymore, I realized that not just because I was getting older, but also my mind and my body was telling me that, Camesha, you have reached capacity. If you continue at this rate, you are going to crash and burn. And one of the things that I didn't realize was that I was addicted to stress. I was used to feeling overwhelmed. I was used to doing so many different things and taking on so much. And especially in my career as a social worker, it's a very service oriented, and you're constantly giving to others and not necessarily being poured back into, or it's a requirement to sometimes sacrifice yourself for the betterment of others. And that just, was a part of my life. But the mental and physical effects continued. And I didn't realize that I was addicted and used to this type of feeling. So I also lastly was in cycles of burnout. Like I would have periods where I'm doing all these different things, overwhelmed, stressed, exhausted, stretching myself too thin. And then all of a sudden I would have a moment of peace, and then I would be back at it all over again. So between the mental and physical effects, being cycles of burnout, being used to and addicted to stress and overwhelmed, these things got to a place where I was like, something has to change very quickly, or, I'm going to crash and burn and tap out. So last year was really my life changing year in terms of being able to overcome burnout and really have a better understanding of what I was experiencing, why I was experiencing, and what I needed to do to make changes. I will also say that I have been facilitating groups and workshops on burnout for years, but it was still an area that I was struggling with in my personal life. And it just got to a point where I was like, okay, let me see how I can really make some permanent changes. Last year, there was a grant called the Self Care Sabbatical that I heard about, which was for women of color leaders. And I was like, okay, I'm going to apply for this grant. The grant gives you a certain amount of money that you can use that's focused on your self care. I applied for the grant. I honestly didn't think that I was going to get it, but something in me told me that I needed to make a shift. And so I applied anyway. And the good news is that I actually got the grant. And that was a part of like my confirmation that, okay, something is about to shift. What can you do to make some changes so that you can be well? The first thing that I did when I got the grant was I signed up for a gym membership. I had gained all this weight over the years, and I was like, I need to get back in the gym. So I signed up for Orange Theory. And for people who know about Orange Theory, it is intense, but it matches my vibe because that's kind of how I am anyway. So I signed up for Orange Theory and started going to the gym regularly. I started really cutting off my time with work, not working late at night, spending just a lot more time doing things outside of working and doing for others that I just really enjoyed and started reconnecting with, whether it was journaling, painting, dancing, spending time with my significant others, my family and friends, all things that I had started to put on the back burner when I was going through burnout. All those things were just like small steps, but those small steps really made a big difference. One of the things that was also powerful about this opportunity that I was forced to delegate because I had to step away for a period of time So I started delegating to other people on my team, and also just taking off some of the load of feeling like I had to carry and do so much. I was able to step away for about 3 weeks and went to Arizona and went to Hawaii and really disconnected, and saw that the work that I'm doing can continue without me being involved and being present in so many parts of it. So fast forward now, I've lost 20 pounds. I'm in a regular regimen with my well-being, where it's a lifestyle now for me to do these things. I feel lighter. The people that I work with feel great. And I'm just able to just show up better because I released these narratives and these beliefs that I had to operate in a certain way that were causing me harm, some of which I put in my way. And then there are other things that have to do with our unique experiences as Black women that also affect, our stress levels and our burnout. Doing those things, it was really hard. I didn't see changes right away, but I really stuck to it, and I really started to understand what I needed to do to have a life where stress and exhaustion was not a daily part of my life. And I know that everyone doesn't have the opportunity to get a sabbatical. Everybody doesn't have the opportunity to really have additional support to be able to make a shift. But I also want to say that the thing that I learned the most was that at any given point in time, you can make a shift as long as you are motivated, as long as you're willing to do some interrogation and do really, really soul searching work. That if you want to change your life from being burned out, from experiencing stress, from experiencing exhaustion, the first thing that you can do is to literally make the choice to do it. I hear from so many Black women who say, I'll never get out of this, who have lost hope. And I believe that there are so many things that influence that. I also believe in our power as women to change things around us and to be able to have the power to shift our lives if we have the right tools, if we have the right people and the right support, to be able to not be stressed out, burnt out all the time. I want to see Black women just thriving and not exhausted and overwhelmed. And so moving beyond burnout is where I'll be talking about so many different topics that I've seen women struggle with, Black women struggle with, a lot of people struggle with as it comes to stress and burnout. And I want to invite you to join me every Thursday at 12 p.m. as I'll be going into various different topics. Just look at this as like your weekly dose for 10 to 15 minutes about something that many people are dealing with or facing with burnout, and how you can begin to cultivate that self-awareness and get practical strategies and tools so that you can overcome burnout for good. I believe that we can all do it. It takes work, it takes exploration, reflection, but it is possible. And I am a living witness of this. So if you're looking at this video, please like, share, subscribe. I have a newsletter on on LinkedIn and on MailChimp that you can follow, where I'll share different resources, courses, opportunities to do even deeper dives. And I can't wait to just share more with you. And if you have any topics related to burnout that you want to share and you want to see me touch on, please put it in the comments or shoot me a DM or message. I would love to hear from you. So I will see you next Thursday. The topic will be Black women are tired and exhausted, how we can reclaim our lives from burnout. So if that is you, or if you're looking to make a shift and really go into that topic of why are we so tired, why are we so exhausted, and how we can begin to take our lives in a different direction, that conversation is just for you. So I will see you next week. Take care and be well.